Hello, thank you so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. Today's video is gonna be a simple tutorial on coding in Python. To do that, I'm gonna show you guys how to handle MNIST data and do some basic codings on them. The purpose of this video is to just show you guys how to come up with your own coding strategy in Python. Let's get started. As I said, this video is gonna be a tutorial on coding in Python Anaconda. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to code in Python using a very simple example problem. The problem that I'm choosing is to handle the MNIST dataset in TensorFlow and work with them. This is a very simple problem, but the purpose of this video is to use this simple problem to familiarize you with the basics of Python coding. If you know MATLAB or any other coding languages, you'll have an easier time to get used to Python. But if you don't worry, it's not going to be that hard to learn. The MNIST database, which stands for Modified National Institute of Standards and Technology Database, is a large database of handwritten digits that is commonly used for training various image processing systems. This database contains 60,000 training images and 10,000 testing images. Each image also has a label associated with it showing the digit the image contains. The size of the images are 28 by 28 and they are black and white images. Here is an example of the images. You see that the label associated with each image has the same value as the number the image is representing. In this video, I will show you guys how to download them in TensorFlow and work with them. As an example, I will show you guys how you could show them in a plot and also how to compute the average and standard deviation images that show the same number, such as computing the average and standard deviation of the images that represent 3 in the training dataset and show them in a plot. I will do that for the images that contain 3 and 0. These are very simple coding problems, but I think it's going to be a good example covering the basics of coding in Python. Let's go to Python and see how we could do this coding. So as you can see, this is the whole coding that I have done for this video. In the first part, I'm going to be downloading the images and saving them in these variables: xtrain, xtest, ytrain, and ytest. So the xtrain contains the images of the training dataset and the xtest contains the images of the testing dataset. Ytrain contains the labels of the training dataset and ytest contains the labels of the testing dataset. And then I have put this to pause the program to wait for me to allow it to go to the next section and run the next section of the program, which is going to be showing the images that are randomly chosen. The images that I'm going to be showing is 100 and 546. These are some of the images that I'm going to be choosing from the training dataset. Okay, let's run the first part in which the images are going to be downloaded along with their labels. You can see that the Python is running. So the images have been downloaded and they are saved in this variable. So the program is waiting for me to allow it to go to the next section. I have put these inputs here for my own convenience so that I will go section by section. And I'm going to just hit the enter to allow it to go to the next section. And as you can see, the first image that we are showing contains 0. And the second one, which is the image number 100, contains 5. And the last one that we are showing contains number 3. And you know that in Python, counting starts with 1. So when I say xtrain 1, that means the second image in our training dataset. So that's how we showed some of the random images. Now we go to the next section in which the mean and the standard deviation of the images that contain 3 are going to be calculated. You could see that the way we did it, we used for loops and we went through all the training data set and then we find the images that contain the 3 using the label. So in other words, we said if the label was 3, save the images, and then we're going to append the images. We're going to stick the images to each other, and then by the end of these for loops, we're going to have xtrain n, which contains all the images that contain 3. And then when we come down here, all we have to do is to just calculate the mean value of this image. To do that, we first have to change it into array, and then we calculate the mean value of the image across the axis 0, and then we could show the mean here. The same thing here, the standard deviation is going to be calculated across the axis 0. Let's run this section and see the results. I just have to hit the enter. And you can see that this is the mean value and this is the standard deviation value of the images that contain 3. So all we did, we just used the for loops and then we just found the images that contain 3 using the label, because there's no way we could tell what an image contains, but we could use the label easily and see what the image contains. And then we use this command to append all those images to one another, and then we use these commands to calculate the mean and standard deviation of those images along the axis 0. And then if we continue to go down, we're going to do the same thing as we did here, but for the images that contain 0. Let's do it and see what happens. You can see this is the mean, and this is the standard deviation of the images that contain 0. This was a very simple problem, but I just want to help you guys think how to come up with your coding strategies. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it and you were able to learn something useful. If you liked it, I would appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel and also share the video with your friend. Thank you so much and have a nice day.